Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the 4-job Fiesta for TnyToe's Rat Rescue. Well, we're heading back into the Moor Pyramid this time for some more action. So, we cleared out a little bit of the pyramid, but this pyramid is really, really long. It's actually going to take several episodes to get through, so... we head on into here, and we got more of these snakes to pop out, so... and more buttons to push. We want to hit the, first and the third button, but I just pushed them all, but that will open up the pathway forward, so... we got another room here with some more snakes and some traps. So the first chest here and the middle chest, they both have, those, the damned enemies, the four, like the clown-looking monsters. And then we have a new trap monster, in the trap, on the right, so we're gonna show, him off, so... let's, what do we got in this new monster? Ooh, another Brachiosaur. So, yep. Unfortunately, he is not vulnerable to any of our status ailments. He's an undead monster, so you can't use the level 5 death on him, because it'll just revive him. So we'll just have to take him out the old-fashioned way with damage and fire spells. Being undead, we can hurt him with fire. And hey, look at that! Look at how powerful that chicken knife is. Yeah, Faris is now using the chicken knife. Now, the only bad thing about the chicken knife is sometimes it'll make you automatically flee a battle, and if it's a case like this where it's a set battle, you'll have to restart the battle all over. So, usually after, like, one round with Faris, you'll notice I'll just start having her do something else, like steal or something, so that she, so that auto run with the chicken knife sometimes, causes to happen, doesn't happen, and make us flee the battle. So, but if you're in a battle with, like, a treasure chest monster, and you flee, you can just, open the treasure chest again and, fight the battle again, so you're not locked out again in the treasure, so, that's good. But, anyway, there is one way that you can avoid, like that, auto flee of the chicken knife, and that's as if you like use an ability that fights but isn't the fight command, because that ability, that secondary ability to flee, to auto flee, only gets triggered by the fight command. So if you have like a command like the aim command, it won't use that, and eventually there's going to be a command that you learn from maxing out the ranger job. It's called X fight, which is basically that 4 times the fight at half damage. Sometimes TnyToe or anybody using that Hayate bow uses. So that'll be good with the chicken knife. It'll basically doing double downs with the chicken knife, and you won't be causing that flea attack to hit. So it'll be nice once we get that whatchamacallit thing learned. We have a. Oh, and look, we finally learned, there's that blowfish ability I was talking about, so, as you can see, it did 1,000 damage evenly, so, yep, it's always 1,000 damage, it doesn't care, you know, your defense, or your status, or anything like that, so, if you're undead, if you're regular, don't matter, it's always gonna do that 1,000 damage, so, it's good for some high defensive enemies, so, would have been much, much better back in, like, Gallif's world, if you would have got it way back in the Ronka runes. Would have helped tear through a bunch of enemies and even bosses, but oh well. So here we have to run up these steps real quick. We're lucky though we have the thief, so the thief has the auto sprint, or the sprint with the B button. It's not automatic, but you just have to run up there real quick. Otherwise, the staircase will become like a ramp, and you'll slide down into the spikes that'll appear, so don't want that to happen. But, so, alrighty. Let's just heal ourselves up here, run up that thing. Ooh, we got into another random encounter, but it's okay. So now we're, another new enemy here. This enemy, what it does is it summons different enemies, and then once the enemy is summoned, it basically just, you know, does buffs, so it'll heal it, it'll cast like shell, it'll cast haste on it. Basically makes that enemy a little bit tougher than what it should be. But otherwise, the enemies it calls usually aren't that tough, so even if they're totally buffed up, they're not going to be too hard for us to take care of, so. But it's a good thing we ran into this enemy because there's a lot of new enemies in this area. We don't want to, like some of the other places like the barrier tower, they only appear on certain floors, so. But speaking of enemies, one of the floors coming up, oh, it's going to be full of enemies. Enemies that are like the snakes that we'll only encounter because they have sprites running around on the floor. So I'll fight one of the enemies and then I'll clear out the room off screen because look at all these robots running around. So mech heads. So like most machine enemies, they are weak against lightning. So might end up equipping, yeah, I ended up equipping the for future battles. I put the lightning bow on TnyToe, and he was dealing double damage there. So even if he does the Harati force shot, the X fight, he'll only basically deal the same amount of damage. So yeah, he was doing like 600 damage with the Harate bow. So 4 times at half strength would be 4 times 300, so 1200, and he's doing about 1200 with the lightning bow. So you get to see how powerful those elemental bows can still be, even at this stage in the game. So, alright, so I'm gonna clear everything off screen. There we go, cleared out all those robots. I think there's about like 8 of them. So, and there's gonna be some more snakes. And, ooh, sarcophaguses, so you know what that means. Mummies! But luckily, these are not grand mummies. These are just regular mummies. And, they are level 27, so hey, you know what that means? That means a level 3 flare. So, 2 level 3 flares, take them out. So, you can switch elemental bows, put the flame bow on. So, we better heal ourselves up there. Faris is taking a little bit of a beating there, so she does not have that awesome Genji gear that Lena has equipped. But Lena's the only one who can equip that, because only our Berserkers can equip that, so even if we would have taken it off Lena, unless we made another Berserker, but Berserkers, most of our classes pretty much have already mastered Berserkers, so no use really putting that on, and that's probably our weakest class. There's that Thornlet helmet. That's the one you can use to apparently do that underflow glitch with the Quake Hammer, the Gaia Hammer. So I want to hit that button, summon some snakes. We took out all those snakes, and our capture card's acting up, so make a quick stop here after I take out this battle. Okay. Reset the capture card, and I'm going to use the black robe. So it's kind of like the white robe. It's a magician's robe. I believe the black robe, yeah, does a little bit better magic. The white robe gives +3 to magic, but it gives +3 to stamina as well. So that raises your defense. The black robe forgoes that stamina increase and just gives +5. So +5 to magic, so it gives less overall bonus, +5 as opposed to +6, but the +5 magic is probably better than the +5, the +3 stamina, +3 magic, so we'll go with the black robe. So now we get a nice little save point here in the middle of the temple, or the pyramid I should say. That's nice. So we're gonna do a little bit of exploration up here, and then we're going to make beat feet and retreat back to that whatchamacallit, to the save point. So luckily we got a little bit of short little passages up here, so we'll clear out the treasure chests. So more of those the damned monsters over there. And we fought these enemies before. They're these enemies that we can encounter in Ball Castle in the basement. But I just want to show how to deal with him again. Remember, what you can usually do is just throw gold needles on them. Long time ago, that person said, hey, you fight stone enemies, throw a gold needle on them and it'll take care of them. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to throw some gold needles on these guys and they'll just vanish away. They give really, really lousy experience, but they give really, really good ability points. So if you're playing the game regularly and you want to max out some jobs, in Ball Castle, these are good enemies to fight, but I prefer to, get some experience, and while I'm building up my job levels. So, because if you just plan on maxing both levels and jobs, you're gonna max out your jobs first. Crystal armor, ooh, and we got some snakes popping up after we open that last treasure chest, but luckily we could sneak right by them, so. Yeah, if you're sneaky, I guess it's good to, Faris is a thief, because we can be sneaky. Now this door can't open it, so in order to get the treasure chest that's behind that door, we're going to have to go to the door to the floor above and fall down. So there'll be 3 pits up there. The first pit takes you to the top, second pit takes you to the middle here, the third pit takes you to the bottom, but we only have to worry about falling in the first pit, so. And here we got some tough enemies here. Stale Fist. These are going to be enemies, random encounters in a future dungeon. So, yeah, they put them early here as a trap. So, uh-oh. Now, these guys ain't too bad at first, but if they stay around long enough, they'll start powering up. And basically when they power up, they're going to one-shot your characters. So, I'm avoiding using that chicken knife. So I don't want to have to run away from this encounter, so like I said, the chicken knife would probably cut off about, more than half of their hit points. The chicken knife does about, like, 2,500 damage, so, but a few castings of, Arrow 3 should help take these guys out, so, about 3 castings of it should finish it off. There he is, he's focusing energy, so now his next hit is basically going to be, he's gonna one-shot whoever he hits. So, we'll just have to make sure we use a Phoenix down to bring Faris back onto her feet. Yeah, you saw how much damage that thing did. So, luckily we outnumber him, so, woohoo! So we'll be able to get Faris back on her feet and get him off his feet. We'll blow him onto his back with that Arrow 3 spell. Yeah, we got a black garb. So, got a new armor for, I guess we're getting all this wizard armor. That's some thief armor now. So, light armor. Now, on this floor, I actually ran into him there, but the chicken knife made me run away. But we can kind of get a mini-boss on this floor. This guy here, Sekhmet. So, this is one guy you can get a bunch of thieves' gloves off of if you want to have 4 thieves' gloves. If you want to have a whole bunch of thieves, you can steal the thieves' gloves off him and then run away, and he'll keep appearing. As long as you don't defeat him in battle, he'll keep reappearing. But when you defeat him in battle, he will he'll have a little bit of a dialogue that kind of hints at a future boss. So we're gonna see that little dialogue coming up here. So he kind of is also an indication of what the future boss is gonna be. He kind of attacks twice, and his one attack tends to blind you. So pull out the eyedroppers. Yeah, one thing the eyedroppers does is it keeps TnyToe from using that aim ability. Aim basically guarantees you're gonna hit, but blind reduces your chance to hit. So yeah, it wouldn't make sense if it reduced your ability to hit, but then you had an ability that made you hit all the time. So yeah, it disables that command. You may have defeated me, but my brother in the tower will. Blah. Well, he didn't get to finish his statement, but now we know we have a brother. So yes, his brother's gonna be a pal swap, and he'll be a boss in a future tower. But not one of the elemental dungeons. A different tower. So we have these 3 holes. You can fall down 1, 2, or 3. We only want to fall down the first one, but we're going to fall down that a little bit later. So here we have 2 buttons. We want to push the button on the left. if we push the button on the right, the wall, instead of going backwards, will move forward and push us down into that hole. So, yeah, definitely don't want to do that. So, but we will fall down a hole once we finish this floor. We'll head back down to the floor below. Those are just the damned enemies there in that those 2 treasure chests. So, yeah, can't push the button now because we only pushed the one button that matters. Now head back down here, and we are going to hop down this hole, and we're gonna end up in this area here, and we get to fight more of those clown the damned enemies. It's a bunch of dark matter. They're really good for mixing, but we don't have a chemist, so. But we do have some master new jobs, so we're gonna have to switch our jobs up a little bit here. But let's head down to the save point. Let's do it in safety. So, yep. So let's switch our jobs around. Ooh, Faris needs to master Blue Mage and the Hunter, so let's put on the Blue Mage. That'll be a really quick job. Only 42 more points, and then she'll master it. So, the only problem is Krile has all the Blue Mage equipment, so we're gonna have to de-equip her and then re-equip. So, Krile has to master Ranger too, but we can put her on the Thief. So we'll just switch. Basically, we'll switch Krile and Faris' jobs up. So, because Krile already has the Blue Mage mastered. So, there we go. Yeah, it's always going to equip that Excalibur because it has the highest attack power. But remember, it's kind of like a coast item in that it only is going to deal 1 damage. The only way kind of around that is to use that, like an attack like Goblin Punch. But Goblin Punch, you know, once again, is really dependent on your level. So your level basically has to match the enemy of the that you're fighting to get that quadruple damage. But if it does, well, it's pretty good, so. But I'm not too worried about that, so. But I am worried about what more things we'll encounter in this pyramid. Find out in our next episode. Bye!